Hey, what's up, everybody? This is District Leader Anthony Beckford of the 43rd New York State Assembly District here in Brooklyn, New York. So let's talk about the fact that the government may shut down, and let's talk about what the MAGA Republicans, as I say MAGA Republicans, because there are two type of Republicans, MAGA Republicans and Republicans. MAGA Republicans are the ones who have the cult mindset and do whatever Daddy Trump tells them to do, or Daddy Elon Musk tells them to do, or AKA President Musk, right? And then other Republicans, they're the ones who say, hey, hold on, we may want to work with the Democrats on this because the fact that this makes sense. This is for the people. People voted us in. We'll lean on this and we'll support it. No, to have a bipartisan bill. That's the way it works, right? But then when you have extremists in politics, and these extremists are MAGA Republicans. These are the enemies within our politics and within our government. And be very frank about that. They are the ones that are trying to basically disillusion you, but also they're giving you disinformation. You know, one thing that they push on is a lot of misinformation in the ether, right? Especially on X. You know, they try to make sure that, because Elon Musk provides them with this platform for them to spread the misinformation because they feel that you as being the American people do not need to be educated, right? They feel they need to continue lying to you and manipulating you about the happenings and the going-ons. You know, where this bill was basically providing more towards, pandemic care and, and awareness and response, providing more funding, for those who experience, year after year, these tragic, tragedies, everything from the tornadoes to the hurricanes, flooding, earthquakes and sort of like that. Provide more relief funding for them as well too. To making sure that programs like WIC, Social Security, food stamps are available. And yes, don't think that food stamps and stuff is just for black people. It's not just for black people. Let's be very real. Majority of social services are actually in the red states. So for those of y'all who will basically self-sabotage yourself because your racism got ahead of itself, guess what? You just screwed yourself, right? For all those who've been fist pumping like, yeah, shut it down because you're like, hey, let's listen to the billionaire who's worth $400 billion now because he may know what's best for us when he doesn't even know a clue about living in struggle, living from paycheck to paycheck, knowing how it is to be an actual working person or a working family. He buys everything and then takes the credit for it as if it was him who did it and implemented it and so like that, which is why he's in his own company, Starlink and stuff like that, he cannot even get clearance for certain things because of his rampant drug use of LSD. There we go. And also for the fact of that he is a risk. He has, relationships, all right, with foreign nationals that is a detriment to our government, which is why even his own lawyers said, hey, don't ask for security clearance because they're going to figure you out, okay? And that's what they want to do. They just want to keep on distracting you, the American people, right? Where the bill that they just try to give was trying to raise, the bill that they try to give last minute because, President Musk and the husk that he has, Donald Trump, were like, no, don't do that bill. But hey, Speaker Johnson, push this bill in quicker. So like that bill that, I'm proud that bipartisanship rejection of it was in regards to the fact that bill would have raised the debt ceiling even more, another $5 trillion. It would have basically cut down on a lot of programs that are needed, funding that's needed for these programs and services. So your children, working families, workers, single parents will be struggling. Those who are just trying to get a home, you'll be struggling. It's not enough that already we have to deal with the fact that these tariffs that Trump is going to implement once he gets into office is going to hurt us significantly over the next 4 years and probably plus until we correct his mistakes. Those type of things right there are dangerous to you, the American people. When we say we the people, it's not for us to be divided because we got billionaires trying to tell us how they're going to govern us, which means to make us suffer as they cut taxes for their billionaire buddies, their millionaire buddies. It's like that as we, the people who are basically trying to either make a livable wage or are just getting by with a livable wage are suffering. Okay? So let's be very clear about that. So make sure you call your representatives, especially you Republicans. Call your Republican representatives. And if you have a MAGA Republican representative, call them as well too. Let them know you want to go back to the drawing table. Not even go back to the drawing table. Let them know that you want the original bill, the bipartisan bill, to be passed, and not this crap that they just try to shove in the last minute and try to speed up the votes in and stuff like that. That Speaker Johnson in the House tried to do to speed up the votes. So that way, one, you wouldn't know what was going on, but also two, so that way they were like, hey, we tried. No, they didn't try. They tried to screw you, but they didn't try to uplift you. Now, for a government shutdown, where the billionaires tell you, we don't mind a government shutdown, do we? Don't worry about it. You won't be hurt by it. When you got the puppet J.D. Vance, who also want to go out there and repeat it. Man does not have an original thought in his head at all. And so like that, he is on the puppet strings along with Trump and so like that for Elon Musk. Yes, a shutdown is going to hurt you. It's going to hurt you badly. You see the WIC program for your babies? Problem. Social Security checks? Problem. Federal employees to get paid? Problem. Oh, yeah, by the way, healthcare and all the benefits for us veterans? Yes, I say us veterans? Problem. And you think you're going to travel to see your family this holiday season? Nope, because a lot of federal employees, TSA agents, will call out because they will be working without getting paid. Problem. And many other functions of government, because the federal employees, they will call out and because they're going to be working without getting paid. It's a problem. MAGA Republicans are a problem. Stop following this cult-like disillusion type of thinking and actually start thinking for yourself. Stop following the 30-second misinformation clips and actually do the research like many of us are doing. So that way we can educate you so you can do the same for your neighbor and your friend and your family and so like that. Because this country is greatly divided based on this. And what they do is they pit the little halves against the have-nots while they have it all. This is Anthony Beckford, District Leader of the 43rd New York State Assembly District here in Brooklyn, New York. I hope that you understand the importance of why the government does not need to shut down in this moment and why you need to push these MAGA Republicans to do what is right and get back to voting for that bipartisan bill that would benefit so many Americans. Let's go.